Blessed be the fruits.
May the Lord open.
What up, y'all? It's the Normies coming at you a little bit of Handmaid's Tale. Season 3, Episode 8, Unfit. This might be talking about me because I'm pretty unfit, so... You think it means like unfit to be a handmaid or a wife or a mother?
Yeah, I mean probably. It's probably just gonna be about June again and her getting shed on. I feel like the threat of her going... There's like... You remember how she was fucking up last episode, right?
Yeah.
I am worried that there will be consequences this time.
She choked off Matthew.
I feel like right now her plot armor is pretty strong, but I feel like she's really overstepping.
Yeah.
Like other people would get punished, and that was one of the complaints people had in the comments too.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels that way. I think one of the ways that they're kind of keeping that plot armor up is that she can have kids, and also she's the handmaid of one of the strongest commanders. So she kind of got that going for her. She's got privilege out there, but I don't know if that's going to be able to really hold it up for what's going on with her. This is Handmaid's Tale, Season 3, Episode 8. It's coming out on the internet in July, and you've probably missed a chance to win the Nintendo Switch, but the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360 are still up for grabs. Xbox 360. The Xbox One S are still up for grabs over on the gaming channel, so feel free to participate in the contest. Every day somebody's going to say a secret word, and then at the end of the week there will be a secret word phrase, and you essentially, boom, put that in when Rana says, or whoever's streaming says, hey, tell me what the secret words were. You type them up, you hit enter, you win. If you put it in the secret word phrase before that, you're going to get disqualified. So, to all of you on Handmaid's Tale who love video games and are playing the contest, don't get disqualified. I want y'all to win. I want somebody to win.
All right.
Not a market substitute?
Yes, guys. It's not a market substitute for the original show. That's Hulu original. Go ahead and watch it on Hulu. It's beautifully made, and you will definitely love it, and you will not regret spending money for it. I guarantee that.
That's the Marquetta guarantee.
If you would like to support us as well, we have a Patreon where you can do that, and you can get exclusive access to the uncut version of our reaction, as well as all the other reactions and premium access and like God knows what access there is. Your support allows us to do podcasts and the cooking show and these contests that we do for you guys. So, please check both of those things out, and let's
get right into it.
Also, it's early morning. I need my coffee.
I wonder if Nick is still alive.
Also, one more plug. Okay, one more plug. This month we're doing book club for the Handmaid's Tale book. I'm like halfway done reading it. I hope you guys join me towards the end of the month, and just pick it up. It's an easy read. It's not that long, and I hope to see you there.
Well, how's Matthew giving birth?
Deep breaths of Andy. You're doing beautiful.
Oh, Vandy.
Princess is dead, and Hannah is gone.
Don't talk to her.
Because of her.
Is Francis that Martha?
Oh my god, that girl's so young.
She's straight running a gang out here. It's like prison shit.
She's like, can somebody brief me into this?
That's so mean. She got someone executed. She doesn't feel sorry about it. She kept her fucking mouth shut.
She was just doing what Aunt Lydia told her to.
Oh, I know.
June's the big bad bitch on campus. It's official.
Andy's contractions have stopped. Let us give her some peace and quiet.
Matthew, shame on you.
Out you go, girls.
Why are they bullying her?
Well,
I mean, I know.
Tell your friends to cool it.
I'm sorry, Lydia. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to take my tongue out. I hope they don't need me on TV again for Nicole.
Tell your friends to cool.
Martha. And whose fault is it that the Martha died?
It's June.
Her fault. Her fault. Her fault. Perhaps you think of yourself as empty of sin.
No one is without sin.
In your selfishness, there is someone else you've forgotten you've wronged. That little girl, Agnes. Of course.
I knew she was gonna bring it up. She's a master manipulator.
Agnes's family was forced to relocate. She was wrecked. from her home. Her world is emptier and colder now.
I have something else to testify. If Matthew doesn't want her baby.
I only felt that way for a second.
Oh,
Just a second.
that's it. You should have lied off Matthew. Also, Aunt Lydia, are you not keenly aware of the shit talking? I mean, I guess.
I love her.
Silence that phone. Coaching. Why did Aunt Lydia, like, doesn't she know that this is what June wants?
Why is she supposed to love that child if she's gonna be ripped apart from it the moment it's born?
Was I a movie star?
Not exactly. I'd say no.
That Aunt Lydia.
Yep.
Good question.
Miss Clemens.
Okay, smart.
You're still here.
Mr. Vaughn, I'm sorry, it's 6:15.
I think it's too cold to wait outside. I'm gonna take him home. Are you hungry, honey?
Oh, not all.
Well, here's Lydia's holier than thou whole thing.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I got held up at work and I got here as fast as I could. I'm so sorry.
You can answer your
He's
phone?
hungry. So why don't you both join me for dinner? Growing boys need more than burgers, don't you think?
Yeah,
She looks familiar.
Sure. Thank
bit.
you.
Have a good night.
yeah, me too.
Aunt Lydia, are you flirting?
They just look at you and make assumptions.
I'm dressing for tips, asshole. I don't actually like you.
I've never heard him use language like that. Maybe you should get a different job.
She
One where
probably
you're not around
can't.
so many.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Every
say
server
names.
is trying to get a different job. Thank you for the advice.
You're very blessed.
And he deserves more. Better.
You could be better.
How? Lydia. God, I see it all now. This is good, like, development on her because it all makes so much fucking sense.
Honestly, this is what I thought of her all along.
Yeah, like, it's not too surprising at all.
No, because I mean, she must have been a teacher because look how she treats them.
Yeah.
And I imagine that her husband cheated on her too.
Yeah. I mean, if she was a fucking mean, hard-ass, judging-ass motherfucker, it wouldn't be too hard to imagine.
Thank you for sharing what you knew about it, Matthew.
You're welcome, Lily. I need to know if you learned anything about Hannah or the Mackenzies in the
No.
movie.
Don't ask me again. I don't know where she is. Good evening.
June, where are you, like, thematically going? Like, what are you gonna do? You can't be subservient, and I feel like you can't fight right now either.
Who can remember pain once it's over? Pain marks you. They said to get dressed. Birthmobile's waiting downstairs.
They call it the birthmobile. It's not very catchy. Yeah. You fucking faker, ridiculous asshole. Stillbirth?
It might be deformed.
I mean, there's no crying. Oh, umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. Too bad you guys don't have doctors in science and technology.
Look at your sister.
What do you think June's thinking? This baby was a little girl, and she didn't make it. And June's probably thinking,
I didn't know what it was, but I felt better without Andy.
she thinks she's lucky.
Really
A boy or a girl?
dead.
She shouldn't have to know that when you tell her. And you're good with her. You're good for her.
But no shenanigans.
You act like you care about your wife. I know you don't give a shit about the rest of us. But you do realize that this world that you built is destroying her. With one phone call, you could have her out. But you're keeping her hostage.
June, calm down.
She's not wrong.
I mean, she's not, but like, I wonder where repercussions come into play.
I bet that felt good.
She keeps trying to get to him. He's like the perfect amount of condescending. Like, she feels like a kid, like that's acting out. You know what I mean?
The Carvers. The Carvers are quick to anger. They need someone quiet, calm. Sonia. Ah, I don't want a handmaid of color.
There is a question about Andy when she's ready to return to service, of course.
The Austins won't have her back, they already told me. Such a good girl. Unlike some, why our Lord above would withhold his blessings from a girl like that.
What are you doing?
Give two healthy babies to someone like a Joseph. I have tried with that one, so help me. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all drinking? Is this legal?
One more.
Is this your iPad?
Do you think Aunt Lydia sees
Thank you,
June or Noelle and June?
We've got something for you too.
What did you say?
Does Aunt Lydia see Noelle in June?
Yes, because she literally told her in previous seasons that she knows
Thank you.
she left Hannah in school late.
Oh yeah.
That all of that was on file for her. She despised June for that reason.
They got her makeup.
One of the reasons I like working with children is that I don't have to bother with this nonsense.
Well, if you out there, you can't be alone.
I'm not alone.
It doesn't seem like there's been something special for you in a while, and you deserve that.
You should save your money.
Employee discount. And I picked out every color special for you.
She got a new job.
I love this foundation because you don't need a lot to get really good coverage.
Oh, her name's Noelle. It's Christmas time. Yeah, get it?
I met someone though. He's in IT.
Oh, there's a lot of good jobs in that field.
The sinners.
And he says he's gonna leave his wife.
That's what counts, dear.
Noelle, can you not read the room?
Hey, come on, we gotta get you out there, Lydia. And if I'm gonna try harder, so are you.
Aw. She's probably gonna get traumatized for life in this club and will hate society, man.
I'm Lydia. Why is she on Christian Mingle? I'm
I
dead
know,
serious.
right?
I mean that 100%.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, Lydia, you're gonna meet somebody out at the club. Why are you listening to Noelle? You know what?
She's gonna see some like gay couples and freak out.
I need to watch an interview with the actress that plays Aunt Lydia.
The music sounds so good though.
Are they like in a hookah bar? Oh, with old boy.
Oh my god. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He's brown.
Last New Year's, I made mac and cheese.
Oh, it's New Year's party.
Oh, no, thank you. Special occasion. Thank you very
Is
much.
that More Than Love playing in the background?
Thanks. Hard to believe teaching's your second career. You're a natural.
Well, family law was good practice.
Family law.
Assistant now.
I've always admired you.
I'm fond of you too.
Oh,
Is it feast?
I'm
I'm trying to go to this place.
Aw.
Lord, we thank you for your many blessings, for this food, good fellowship, and the year ahead. Amen.
Amen.
This is like terribly sweet. I want this guy to adopt me.
Oh no.
Please tell me Aunt Lydia's just got like pipes on her. This is surprisingly also uncomfortably sad. Like, fuck, man.
I still hate Lydia, okay?
I know,
Just want to make it clear.
it just feels like,
This means nothing. I still hate her.
how does she come so far from like almost having a life to like almost being a person who, even in her older age, found what seems at least mildly romantic? Like, you gotta find someone to kiss on one?
Happy New Year.
Oh, he's such a gent.
I'm gonna put one up this year. My son couldn't make it home, and
It's pagan bullshit.
Well, if I had known, I would have invited you. More the merrier.
What about fraternizing though? They work together. He's a principal. It's a conflict of power.
I feel like in an elementary school, all teachers correct me if I'm wrong. Hopefully there's not like weird conflicts of power. It's fucking elementary school. Are the stakes that high?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's the principal. He's her boss.
oh yeah, seems like a chill workplace. Senior citizens just getting on it. So uncomfortable? This is uncomfortable. I prefer the Arya scene. I don't know why this is making me uncomfortable.
Are you seeing?
Jim needs a break. Can't do all that right now.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Not ready.
too soon for me.
I understand.
There's nothing to be embarrassed about, Lydia.
I think she's hungover too.
You mean tiny drunk? She shouldn't be hungover. It's not the next day.
She probably doesn't drink.
Yes, I'll see you at school.
Good night.
Why? She's feeling guilty she wanted to have sex? Like,
Maybe she feels bad because she wasn't better than him. Like, you know.
she gave in before you did.
She's unable to maintain a steady job. She sends the child to school without breakfast, let alone lunch.
You talking to the fucking CPAs?
What?
Do they go to church?
I've tried.
It's the eyes. It's the beginning.
She carries on
She
with
was a
men.
snitch. That's how
I
she
know
got the
of
power.
3 in the last
And I'm pretty sure he disapproves.
Is there really enough here to trigger an emergency removal?
We are required by law
Uh,
to report moral weakness, Mr. Thorne.
Gilead was already happening.
Moral weakness.
Don't worry about Ryan. He's in a proper foster home. I can assure you.
Oh my god! You fucking cunt!
Sure, thank you.
So, is this like the very beginnings of Gilead? Like, has the American government fallen already?
Yeah. I mean, these are already like, they probably are in power,
Yeah.
you know, but not taking over just yet.
To protect Ryan.
From what? He's fine. He needs me. He needs his mother.
And you're entitled to appeal our determination at your hearing in 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Why? You're ruining his life. You're a fucking cold-hearted bitch. That's never should
I forgive you.
Ugh. I hate when people are on such high horse. That's a game.
Aunt Lydia, I'm surprised you've lived this long, honestly. I know you're going around backstabbing motherfuckers left and right. It's about time somebody did it to you.
She about to do it to him too.
For what did he do?
We never had issues with Joseph before the Waterfords. And if Matthew is pregnant, the Calhoun's baby must be protected. Not every household and Handmaid is a good fit.
Oh, she's about to get removed from the Lawrences. They're gonna put her in a strict-ass, stern-ass household, probably. I don't know why off Matthew kept fucking around. She'd been threatened so many times.
Grieving over Andy's dead child. And Lawrence. They all deserve to suffer.
That's me. You know where going.
Off Matthew, I'm confused that you really thought your actions were decent and just.
I finally know how Auckland felt.
His name was
I'm fine. Joseph, a word or two, please.
Of course, Aunt Lydia. And I know how Emily felt. Right before she stuck a knife in Lydia's back.
I was thinking about you last night. How I have failed you. I prayed on it. All I want is for my girls to be protected and safe as they fulfill their sacred duty. I think it's about time we got you out of that house. It's become quite clear that the Lawrence household is dangerously unorthodox. First Emily, and all your recent troubles.
It's my understanding that Commander Lawrence requested me personally.
There are commanders more powerful than Lawrence, dear.
What
Is
is
that really a home for a child?
Oh,
What is it?
she thinks she's snitching. Why are you beating Janine? Stop! Janine can't just be everyone's punching bag. Jesus. Reasonable.
Oh no! She's with the child. Isn't that more important than on Lydia?
Not anymore.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Who did that? God. Fuck.
A lot of shit kind of just went down in the last, 30 seconds.
Dude, calm the fuck down. You're no soprano.
Alright.
Seriously? Really? You're gonna play this song?
I didn't. Okay. This one felt like it had a.
What was it called? Unfit again? Unfit?
Yeah, as in off Matthew's Unfit. Moral weakness. This one towards the end had a little tone problem. I think. I don't know. That was a little weird, but I get it, man. It's
What
so
do you mean tone? Like the last scene?
yeah, like it went all over the place multiple times. I don't know. It just kind of. I thought it was tight, but I don't know. I'm a little confused, I guess. So off Matthew thought that June was snitching on her again, or just why did off Matthew finally snap like this now? It's only been a day.
I mean, you said
No.
that she thought she was snitching.
Yeah.
Because Aunt Lydia personally asked her to come to her,
Yeah.
put her aside from off Matthews.
Yeah.
So off Matthew started having thoughts.
I'm panicking. The
Yeah.
baby just died yesterday.
Yeah.
So I could see her being worried.
Yeah, and like all of the other handmaids are bullying her. Fucking Janine always get.
God.
I hate it. Can you leave Janine alone, for God's sake?
It's like watching a dog get beat. Leave Janine the fuck alone. She's too nice to everybody. She
I
literally
know.
doesn't deserve it.
I hate this.
God.
I just want to be a personal bodyguard.
I don't know what the fuck that was, man. And like, June, so I think this season, I'm calling it right here, right now, it's episode 8, I think June's gonna get served some humble pie. I think she's gonna get fucked over. I think that she's kind of been acting like she's untouchable and she's gonna have to get fucking touched. I don't agree with it, but this society hasn't sufficiently punished her yet for her behavior, so I'm gonna have to assume that that's right around the corner.
Well, she knows that the extradition process is still ongoing, and that is her big protection. And they cannot hurt her, like she said. Are you gonna sew a mouth shut?
Yeah, they can't physically hurt her, but they can do something to her. And on top of that, too, I mean,
they're already trying to remove her from a.
Yeah, because I mean, she's not
house.
there for the state-sanctioned rapes anymore, and they could easily put her with a family that's all about that. So, like, I think that that's probably what they're holding against her, because, you know, there's no physical. It won't show on her face that she's been hurt.
Lawrence is gonna want to keep her though, because he just admitted that she's good with his wife.
Yeah.
And he cares about his wife.
So we'll see how much power Lawrence actually has.
Yeah.
Got all
So
those
maybe-
all those aunts sitting around drinking and talking shit about family. Oh, this one doesn't want a handmaid of color. I'm glad they admitted it.
Honestly,
Finally.
I was thinking that, like, because if, like, you would want the handmaid to be like your ethnicity, or like looking, even like if, for example, you have blue eyes, you would want them to have blue eyes because you want that child to look somewhat like your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if you, let's say you're a white housewife and you have black, or any other ethnicity,
mixed baby.
handmaid,
Mm-hmm.
then you know you have either a mixed or like black child, and that reminds you of, you know, what happened
So,
the rest of your life.
You know, the Wilsons, or the Wilsons, I think, over in DC, the one with all those damn kids.
Yeah.
A lot of those kids were multi-ethnic.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is that's like a status symbol, I think.
For
They're like,
DC, yeah.
you know what I mean? In DC, but even anywhere else, like, yeah, look, I got all these kids. None of them look like my wife because clearly I've had so many handmaids. I'm out here balling. I got one of every color, so I got Neapolitan ice cream out here. You know, so I think that's kind of maybe like, I don't think that some of them give a fuck about it. Some of them obviously do. I'm not saying that I'm saying that in a society like this, racism is obviously going to be a fucking issue because sexism is an issue because all the other isms are an issue. So, like, I'm just glad that they at least hinted at it at least a bit.
So, I think that the only thing that I didn't like about the ending is that they decided to shoot the pregnant handmaid instead of Aunt Lydia, because Aunt Lydia is 100% replaceable.
See, that's what I kind of thought was going to happen. That it was going to be like Aunt Lydia was going to get popped, and because this is a whole Aunt Lydia story.
Aunt Lydia, yeah, like everything was wrapped around her story, and so I really thought she was going to kick it. It really doesn't make sense. Like, none of the angels would shoot a pregnant handmaid.
Angels? You've been reading the book. They don't call them angels here.
They do.
No, they call them guards.
Oh, guards, yeah.
Yeah. Also, so I did like too, now that I think about it, when June's walking in and she's like, I see how Emily stabbed you in the back. I see why Offglen put on that vest. She was starting to understand why these people committed these acts of violence.
She was like, I like it.
As she looked over, well, she was like, it's an acquired taste to see other people in pain, but also, I think she's getting pushed to her point where she's like, I'm kind of done with this shit. And, like, you see off Matthew probably, like, getting here too. You know what I mean? You see her, like, June's, like, thinking about it, and off Matthew's all the way at her breaking point where she fucking snapped.
Well, if you remember also, we've always been looking up to June as the person with the most humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's able to sympathize with, like, she was able to forgive so much to the Waterfords.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, like, she's given them so much, like, patience and forgiveness and understanding, and Serena completely fucked her over.
Yeah.
Fred fucked her over too, And so, those were the two people that she thought were actually
like redeemable.
Somewhat her friends. She told earlier in the season that she doesn't feel hate, she doesn't feel love towards him.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what it is. And then we were talking about friendship, but all that is gone now, and she feels like all that love that she had for them was a waste of time for her.
Yeah, and now she's just out here.
Now she's just like 180. She's just like, well, fuck this shit.
So, I don't know, man. This one was a rough one. The whole Aunt Lydia backstory stuff was really interesting, man. Aunt Lydia in regular society, I think would be fairly punished. She'd probably, and by punished I mean like socially punished. She'd just be like some old lady who had a fucking chip on her shoulder and like no one gave a shit about her because she acted an ass. But in the Society of Gilead or the Growing Gilead, those things are like rewarded, you know what I mean? Her nosiness and her meddling in someone else's life and her deciding what's better for a child over that child's parents, those were the things that made her qualified, but also those were the things that the society was going to like lift up anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like socially, like you can live in a society where the rules are one way and you are one way and those things are incongruent and you get pushed down further in society, but when that society flips and those rules now favor you, you can be a star, you know what I mean? I know that that's obviously the case, but it's good to see it like unfold with her and Jim. I was so happy for her for a second. I was like, how did she fuck this up? I was thinking Jim was gonna do something, and no, all of her problems are fucking internal. All of the problems that she has come from inside of her and comes from her own shitty, fucked up beliefs and her own shitty way of doing things and handling things. And I prefer that way better than it being some existential thing that makes you a shitty person. It's whatever's already inside of you. And like, you're just fucking going with the flow. No one told you you had to be that way.
Yeah.
God, she's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
I wish she would have got shot. I wish she got shot bad.
Oh yeah, me too.
Through the fucking neck.
I really like the ending. I even like, this song. I was just like, calm down, soprano, and then he started playing it. I'm like, okay. The thing that she said that they called it moral weakness report. So the teachers were, so I guess like, I'm assuming that Gilead as a party was part of, or had some representatives from some states, I guess. And so they were able to pass certain things.
Yeah.
And I guess for school systems.
I mean, Gilead didn't just take over overnight. It was, they were already
they slowly were getting into power and then just overnight. Yep. But, so I'm assuming that the moral weakness report was one of the policies that they put in place. And I'm assuming also that not all the teachers did that, but Aunt Lydia was just so hell-bent on doing this because of her like life experience.
And shit. And on top of that, if you think about it too, it makes sense to have it for elementary school teachers. Because who cares about junior high or high school? You want to get the kids into new homes while they're young.
Yeah.
That's so fucked. You're fucking gross. They probably got them in high school waiting for some girl to get pregnant and show that she's fertile, so they can fucking be like, oh, we got a fertility one here. God,
Yeah, did you see that one girl in the birth scene? Mm-hmm. She looked like she was 14.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, what's her face? Edith. She was super young too, man. This fucking show. This fucking society.
So also when on Lydia, when she looked at Noelle, and she like she'll call her fucking bitch. She's like, I forgive you. I'm like, I hate when people say that. You fucked up, and you're saying I forgive you.
Oh, you know what?
My face.
I actually see when you were saying that, I was kind of thinking June's kind of been the same way, where she's been on a high horse. I think Aunt Lydia and June might just a little bit share kind of, because like Aunt Lydia thinks she's in the right, and she's literally like smiling and being like, oh, I forgive you, while Noelle's like, you're ruining my life and you're ruining my son's life, right? And then you see June being like looking at off Matthew, and she was just like, pull the fucking trigger. Like they both, I think they're both master manipulators. Or they really are. And it's not a bad quality to June. She's essentially been developing her manipulating powers while she's been here.
She's using the only device left to her. She's using it as self-defense. But Lydia is using it as her own self-advancement.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying, do you see the similarities in both of them where they're like, they can essentially chess master some shit out.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like, if anything, June learned from her.
I think June's been learning since she's been in Gilead. I'm saying like she's picked these things up. I don't care how they've gotten to these points. I'm just saying that I can see in those last two scenes, with Lydia seeing Noelle get hauled away, and with June watching fucking Off Matthew get shot, I see similarities there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. Because you need to pick up traits of your enemy if you want to beat them. Well,
so,
what else you got?
Hold on.
Off Matthew.
I wanted to give shout out to the, again, I praise the cinematography every episode, but this one really, like, fucking knife in the heart and twisted when the baby was still born, and then they formed, like, a heart around.
Yeah.
I just choked. This is the one episode I didn't cry for some reason, but that one was hard.
You're getting used to it. Also, the POV Handmaid first-person shooter gunshot with the bonnet, and she's just freaking out.
They showed the bonnet vision several times this episode.
Yeah.
They haven't showed it before, I feel like. But you can see that they really have like a tunnel vision, and they can't really see
the peripherals. Yeah. Man, just even the way they handled the whole Aunt Lydia date scene, all that shit, man, was...
So I just want to like really highlight the fact that this is the only show that knows how to handle rape and like abuse and sexism. Like this show just knows how to do it, you know, like if you look at like Game of Thrones, like obviously it's a different different settings, like there's no way you can do it right, but also you could if you tried. Like I mean there was some controversial like, you know, and all that.
And you saying that this show handles that better?
Yeah, because it shows it to you from the point of the victim, where like other like titles maybe just show it to you, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel like this show has found the right balance between of like explaining what that feels like to somebody who's never been through it. You know? Yeah. And like for the people who have been through it, they can see it and be like, you know, this is a really good representation.
So, what I think I'm starting to realize about Off Matthew is that she was already slipping. She was already cracking and breaking. Because why would she think that what she was doing was helping June? She was starting to believe. You know what I mean? She was starting to believe in society. That's why all the things she said to June, even when she first met her, she was like, did you hear about Alfred? And like, or off whoever, you know what I mean? Like she was becoming a part of the society and she was letting herself slip. I don't think that anybody was, all the handmaids, I don't think any of them are kind of like that, you know what I mean? But like, she was starting to get there. Because when I was like, why the fuck would she think that was a good thing to do for June? It was slowing that, I think, in my mind, it's showing that like she's losing touch of actual reality. And at the end, you saw her kind of like fighting against that.
So in the books, you know, so Gilead's been in power for about 3 to 5 years, I think. Mm-hmm. And there's this one part where June is just kind of like walking around and she sees some Japanese tourists in the city, and there was like a Gilead interpreter, and they ask June like if she's happy, and like she cannot like, and then the guide like translates, and she's just like she cannot answer because she can't hear, because she keeps looking at the Japanese ladies like legs, because they have like skirts that go like right under the knee, and they have like sandals, so she's like looking at their feet and like their like skin, because she hasn't seen it in so long, and she feels like offended because that's like immodest. And then like when she finally like snaps back and like answers it like, yeah, she's happy, turns around and she's just like, I can't believe how used to I am to this new morality. Yeah. And that I judged those women for like, you know,
showing leg.
Yeah, that like I was actually feeling like they're like whores, and I was like condescending them. But it like I used to dress like that 5 years ago. Why do I feel such disdain for these women now? So even brainwashing worked even for June. Yeah. And Off Matthews she's clearly so much younger. Yeah. So maybe she was 14, 15.
About to have our first girl.
Or even less when
Gilead got started.
Yeah. So her formative years were spent in this system. So obviously she's absolutely in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was flourishing given the circumstances because
she could have babies, that's all you have to do.
She always had
obey the rules and have babies.
She had babies, and I'm assuming that, you know, it always happened the first time, so she was probably raped once, got pregnant, moved house, raped once, got pregnant, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that hard. I'm trying to make it any easier, but it wasn't probably as hard for her as like other families, like Emily, who was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Got her clit taken out.
Or even
was raped every month, even though she couldn't have a
June, who was raped until she was.
She was raped while she was pregnant, so that they could like
induce slavery.
The.
Well.
But yeah, I think I said everything now.
So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Comment down below, give it all the likes. Just show this video a lot of love. You know how it is, but we're gonna make it to the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, but it'll probably not gonna return because you guys don't show it enough love.
What's that? Because of these guys. You guys do show it enough love. It's the rest of the internet.
Well,
we gotta get the rest of the internet.
You have to be the apostles. You have to spread the word. You know.
Spread the fruits.
Spread the fruit, and you know, we hope that. You will open the eyes of people to this reaction. Show them what moral awesomeness looks like. Alright, this is getting weird. Alright guys, we'll see you at the next one. Bye! Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode of Handmaid's Tale with us. Shoutouts to Luis, Joe Max, Nasir the Artist, Marky O, Crodizzle, Mortal Clown, Kelly Parks, Keyboard Junkie, NYR Fan, and Philip Libbins. Those are our top patrons on Patreon, and if you're interested in becoming a top patron on Patreon, click the big old P there, or if you're interested in more Normies videos, click the big old N.